Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Joyanta, for including me in this course, and thanks to the organizers. Now, I'll be speaking something on uh, the management options or management protocol for the patients with trauma and present with perception of they cannot perceive the light. Now, in the retina, the light induces a quantum mechanical process which generates a photo-induced biological function, and the brain passively interprets the stimulus as a sense of light. Now, the no perception of light status following injury occurs due to multiple reasons. It located in the eye or in the brain or in both the structures. In absence of proper epidemiological data, some studies reported that a maximum about 16% of all ocular trauma cases present with no light perception. What is the aim of this presentation? To describe a case series of blunt eye trauma with no perception of light during initial presentation, and despite having bad prognostic indicator or indicators, eventually they regained vision after treatment, and thus to derive an institutional rather an individual approach. Now, paradox of management of eye trauma with NPL status pivots around whether to treat the case or not to treat the case. The first case that I am going to present, the present with no perception of light, and ultimately the person regained a vision of 460. He has a history of blunt trauma, the subluxated lens, superficial scleral rupture at 4 clock hours. There was dense vitreous hemorrhage with subretinal blood and ciliary detachment in the nasal sector of the eye. The treatment, what has been done, in the first stage, the patch graft was done, and the second sitting, a vitrectomy was performed. The lens, TPA and subretinal blood drained, silicone oil injected, and silicone oil removed after some time, and his final vision was 460. That is the case. You can see the superior rupture of the sclera through which the uveal tissue was prolapsed. This patch was repaired fast, and this is the area of ciliary detachment. And after doing this surgery and repair of this detached ciliary body, the final status is like this. It is a silicone filled eye, and you can see 360 Bares laser is there, and the retina is settled. But as the macular area is grossly unhealthy post-traumatic situation, the vision was 460. Now the second case, they presented with no perception of light. He has a blunt trauma, iridodialysis, subluxated lens, secondary glaucoma. The case was abandoned elsewhere. Subsequently, the patient regained the light perception spontaneously, and after 6 months, we have done a extraction of the lens, the scleral suture fixation, and iridia. IOL was implanted, and topical anti-glaucoma medication. So that was the status of the eye. There was a total iridodialysis here, and this area is undergo atrophy. The pupil could not be restructured, and on the first day after the aniridia intraocular lens implantation, that is the picture. So probably he had a vitreous hemorrhage, and that hemorrhage eventually cleared up. Now, case number 3 has a blunt trauma, has a no perception of light, and ultimately he got vision to 618. What was the feature? He had a retinal detachment, there was dense vitreous hemorrhage, and first vitrectomy was done, it was failed. The second vitrectomy was again performed, the vitrectomy, relaxing retinotomy, then silicone oil injection, and silicone oil removed afterwards, and the patient get the vision 618. So that was the case. You can see the rest part of the retina was removed, only the posterior pole retina is there, and this part of the retina is functioning, and these are the exposed choroid, This is the angiographic picture, this is the choroid, and this is the retina. So with this, though his visual field is restricted, but his central vision was substantially improved. The fourth case, this case had a presentation with no light perception. So actually he had an orbital foreign body with a handmade pistol, and this family collisions. One of his brothers shooted him with this handmade pistol. Now he developed scleropeteria, chorioretinopathy, and similarly he has no light perception. So we have removed the orbital foreign body, and the vitreous hemorrhage we have treated. The retinal detachment was also treated. You can see the belt buckle over here, and subsequently the vision improved to hand movement. This is another case. Here you can see in 1994 he had undergo a silicone oil, vitrectomy silicone oil, and subsequently the silicone oil emulsified, and in 1998 the silicone oil was removed and the manual SICS IOL was done. His vision regained. At present his vision is 636 with myopic glass. Unfortunately, he sustained injury to his good eye, which is now thiatrical, aphakia with closed funnel RD. This is the right eye picture. You can see there is a closed funnel RD and the lens is not there. The left eye, it has become the seeing eye. It is enlarged along with the period of time, and it requires a myopic glass correction. The another case I want to present, there is a no light perception following traumatic optic neuropathy. Now with the traumatic optic neuropathy, what we do now a navigational surgery. It was a previous documentation when we used to do a orbital optic canal decompression through anterior route. Now in this case what we do, we remove the bony wall of the medial part of the bony wall, and the orbital compression is removed. In this case, there is a foreign body, there is a fractured bone fragment which was impacting the optic canal, compressing the optic nerve. So after removal of the compression, the patient get visual recovery. Now often this indirect traumatic optic neuropathy, or in case of traumatic optic neuropathy due to compression by the bone fragment, when you remove the compression, the patient vision improves, and this surgery can be further upgraded by using the navigational device. Now this is the case, the bone fragment was there, and that was the cause responsible for no light perception. When it was removed, the vision improved. This is the electrophysiological evidence that you see this curve here and the curve here, the post-operative period, the vision improved. Another interesting case, he had a preseptal hematoma and he also presented with no perception, and this preseptal hematoma was drained and the vision was normal because there is no eyeball injury. All blood were there surrounding it was actually the conjunctival blood vessel, subconjunctival hemorrhage, which has obstructed the visual axis and lead to no light perception. The another case I like to show, that it is a road traffic accident with a history of unconsciousness, and he presented with this picture. The construction was done, eyelid construction, and that was the corneal status. After that, our cornea surgeon done the keratoprosthesis, and the patient also regained vision with this eye. Now this world is not full of roses. Reported visual recovery rate from no perception of light to perception of light or better after the globe ruptured ranges from 4 to 36%. How many of these eyes retain vision for longer period of time is not known. However, 85% of all eye disorders retain perception of light up to the end of the life, and who lose PL many of them are trauma cases. Some of them, even with vision, often become functionally blind. No light perception in both the eyes leads to 24 hours sleep and wake disorder. Now, it is a situation when the brain function, the alternate visual pathway, the magnocellular pathway of vision, get obstructed, and the patient develops uh, as a psychological condition gets upset, and a particular sort of psychiatric disorder develop because they lose the orientation with the day and time. The circadian cycle varies. So even the perception of light can be retained. I think all efforts should be maintained in case of trauma. So light response is determined by the principle of uncertainty. There should be induction phenomenon, fluctuation of sensory control of the stimuli, and sensitivity of the retina. These are three factors determine the perception of light. So each flash may not give rise to response. So whatever the flashlight test we do, even the indirect ophthalmoscope, this may be negative. Now there are certain requisite minimum requirement for light response. There should be simultaneously element rod cell to be stimulated, and each cell should get a 3 photon stimulus, and at that time only it produces sense of light. So this criteria may not be fulfilled in many cases of trauma. The patient may be, the cognitive sense is also very important for light perception. So more following trauma, minimum physiological stimulus for light perception may not fulfill in many of the cases. So there are some prognostic indicators for not light perception after open globe injury. Now, if the globe rupture, open globe injury, scleral wound, ciliary body damage, severe intraocular hemorrhage, closed funnel retinal detachment, or retinal prolapse, these are the prognostic indicators for regaining perception of light after the surgery. Now, assessment of the perception of light is subjective, depends upon the cognitive status of the mind and anatomical status of the eye. The role of PL positive is inclusive and PL negative is not exclusive in trauma management. Assessment of perception of light by IDEO is not always reliable. So, no perception of light due to optic nerve avulsion and transaction is irreversible. But determination of optic nerve avulsion is difficult because the dural sheath of the optic nerve may remain attached. Moreover, on optic nerve avulsion may be partial and visual reversal is possible in partial avulsion cases. As found in our case, cognitive status of the patient, effect of shock wave of the choroid, retinal pigment epithelium, photoreceptor complex, and certain pathological ocular conditions like extensive choroidal hemorrhage, dense vitreous hemorrhage, subretinal hemorrhage, retinal detachment, severe hyphema, emulsified silicon well in the anterior chamber, alone or in combination can give rise to no light perception status of the eye. So the scope of treatment of no perception cases, some are treatable, which the eyes are affected by reversible anatomic cause as the subretinal hemorrhage or intravitreal hemorrhage and retinal detachment, or untreatable optic nerve avulsion, optic nerve transaction, and profound loss of intraocular content. So these are untreatable case, but other cases the reversible anatomical cause may be addressed successfully. The King Akbar said life may move forward on the pursuit of reason rather than reliance of tradition. So rationally, the ocular no PL trauma cases, anatomy plays a more important decision making role over the functional status of the eye. So the path we follow is preserve and treat all eye trauma cases with no PL status except proven cases of optic nerve avulsion, transaction, and when there is no loss of ocular content on the retina. So thank you for your patience hearing.